Today we are here in Innisfree in the very big tree lot that is there. I really wanted to build a tree house inside a tree house, and that's what we're going to do today. So I had an idea in my head. Usually when I build tree houses, I use a tree and then build the house against it, if that makes sense. But I really wanted to build a tree inside a tree house. So fortunately in Debug, I found the shell of the very big tree lot. I really sized it down, and we're using that as the base to basically hide our tree house in, around, whatever. Anywhoosies, this it was a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. So what you also see me do here actually is build a basement, which what happens in a game like this, if you use a shell around something like you were doing here, a lot of the times the Sims cannot get into it. But if you raise it up from the basement, the game doesn't see it as something is there, if that makes any sense. So your Sims can just walk through it. And when I was actually editing this yesterday, I realized that yes, I'm building a basement for the shell of this, but it does not matter because I don't know how they coded this, but my Sim can walk through this, and I move it around so much that it's no longer from the basement up. So, you know, it doesn't matter, but I do use the basement later. So I actually keep playtesting as well to see if they can get everywhere. What I also found in Debug was, I don't know, a well, stump, whatever. I really sized that. I don't know if I sized it down or if it was just the way that it is, but I wanted to make swimming pool out of it. And also you already see that I've really built stuff inside the tree. That took me, I think, 2 days, and it was so difficult to get it exactly the way that I wanted it, that I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop and I'm going to do something else. So that is why I stopped building the treehouse and started doing all this. And I really like the way that this is looking, the natural way. And yes, I also play tested this. My Sim is actually in the pool right now. I do use the tool mod quite a bit. And here you see me pulling trees in a specific place because that big, I don't know, arm or something, I really wanted it to be sprouting, you know, looking alive. That was the plan for me. Yes. The other thing is that I think this build took me about a week. I have so much footage, it's just ridiculous. And I also wasn't really paying a lot of attention to what I was doing because my mind was actually somewhere else. So that's also the reason that I haven't uploaded in, I think, did I upload last week? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I was planning to upload this video last week, but stuff happened. I don't know, I had an autism assessment. It was a whole thing. If you know, you know, and I basically passed the test. I don't know, it's official now. You know, we have a saying here in the Netherlands that I'm not crazy, I'm an airplane. Back in the day when Airwolf was on TV, yes, I'm that old, I made it into I'm not crazy, I'm a helicopter. And I was specifically Airwolf. We should have known back then, but we didn't. And now I can say that officially I'm a helicopter. So you know what I mean. It doesn't matter, but that's basically the reason that I haven't been uploading or been on social media, because my mind was doing other stuff. Yes. I basically built the tree house and then shut everything off, went to sleep, and then I was like, but I want to have it in a different way. So I started building the tree house with a platform on the top, and I really wanted to change that because it just looked a little bit weird. So I am kind of re-fiddling around with everything, raising it up on a platform because I wanted to have the house sticking out of the base of the tree. So I really had to raise it up. So that is what I did. I was very much fiddling around a lot with the stairs. In a build like this, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yes, I could have used ladders, but I don't really like ladders. I really like my stairs. So that is what I wanted to use. And what I usually do is I basically build a shell of a room, and then I start fiddling around with the stairs and where I want the stairs to have, and I kind of adjust the room around it, if that makes any sense at all. I hope so. I have cut out a lot of footage. So a lot of the fiddling around and messing around that I do, you don't see because it wasn't fun to watch. Here I'm actually building the roof line. I really like how this turned out, and this was what I had envisioned. That you really had, you know, the house inside a tree, leaning up to the tree, and I wanted to have it functional as well. So the other thing that I was thinking about was building the tree, the house on top of the tree. But then I had a lot of, I don't know, dead space. Hello, dear. What is it, darling? Do you want to be on the voiceover, dear?
I can be on the voiceover.
You can be on the voiceover. You have to talk into the microphone. Don't know if the people will like that, but that is fine.
You probably have to lower the volume on that one.
Yeah, I probably have to lower the volume on that one. For you, those of you who know, that was my son. For those of you who don't know, that was my son.
I am the beast.
You are the beast. Yes, I know. Go away.
And you are keeping the door open.
Yes, it's because...
That means it's allowed to walk in.
It's because things are in the way there. I need to do laundry later. That's life, you know? So I did have a lot of fun building this, but it was also quite frustrating in quite a lot of parts. So I can hear my son laughing. That's very annoying, but it is fine. I should have closed the door. Anyway, the other thing is that the fairies in Innisfree don't need a kitchen, they don't need a toilet. I do add them later because if you are downloading this, and it is already on the gallery, but if you're downloading the house and you just want to place it somewhere for your regular Sims, it's nice if they, you know, can pee and can cook and shower. The little dormers that I added, it looked so cute, but when I basically tested it for gameplay, it was really annoying because it was in the way. So I kind of do that a little bit differently. And then, yeah, I don't know. I just, at first I thought adding a lot of plants on the roof would be a very good idea, but I didn't. It's already in a tree. So there's also going to be a canopy above the house. So a lot of plants on the roof doesn't make a lot of sense because they don't get a lot of light, if that makes any sense at all. Here I'm just adding all the little cluttery bits. This tree stump, the cool thing is it's fungi, stuffy thingamajiggy that's on there, lights up in the dark. So that's very cool. The thing is though that for this, while I place the tree stump where I place it, the game sees it as an obstacle. So when I started to playtest it a little while later, my sim could not get up the stairs, which is very annoying. It took a while for me to figure out. So if you have stuff like this, use the basement trick that I mentioned, and you will see me do that a little bit later, that actually almost every plant that I put underneath that platform, I needed to put underneath and raise up through the basement because it was in the way. I hope they fix that. Yeah, the other thing I hope that they fix is we got very cool plant wall hangings. Sims cannot walk underneath them. So some they can, but others they cannot. So the wisteria they can walk underneath, but the other stuff they cannot. And I really hope that they change that. So while this build was frustrating, but more because I had a specific look in mind and a specific feel in mind, I did really enjoy building this. And now that I'm watching the speed build back, I just really love how it turned out. And this is the type of stuff that I love to build. The fun thing is I have a few things that I love to build in The Sims. So I love to build Victorian style houses. I also enjoy doing modern houses. I don't know if my modern style houses are very modern, but at least that's how they feel to me. And I love fantasy builds. Gameplay is not really my thing, but this, yeah, I just really like it. I can be very, very creative. I wish that I could live in something like this in real life, but unfortunately I cannot. So then I, just have to build it in The Sims because I can. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I had my autism assessment last week. And yes, I had it in 1 week, which was a thing. So if you live here in the Netherlands and you want an assessment, I can highly recommend the autism specialist. That's where I got mine. Sometimes they offer accelerated assessment. That's what I did. So I had it in a week and it was intense, but I survived. I have the diagnosis and now we can, I don't know, start unmasking and such. Adding some planty thingies here and there. Also, again, gameplay testing because I really want my builds to not only look good, I also want them to be playable. So if you download this, it's actually on a 20 by 20 lot. And the stuff that I place outside of the boundary using the tool mod, if it's connected to the lot, it will transfer over. That's actually what I noticed. Here I am fiddling around with the canopy and thank the goodness for the tool mod because I really, really needed it. It took quite a while, especially also with the arms that you see. The arms, no, they're actually not arms, they are branches. I see of them as arms because they're separate pieces. Some of them are not really as snug as I would like to have them, but some of them I just could not get snug enough. So that is why I kind of hide a little bit of a seam with some plants because that was the only way that I knew how. Listen, I think I tried an hour on one of those arms, branches. So yeah, I was not having fun back then. But yeah, here we're just doing a little bit of the landscaping. The house here is already done, or at least the shell is done, but I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I want to have every level be. So we have the entry level, obviously, but I did not really know what I wanted inside of that. So that is basically why I am just doing other stuff, because the normal way that I build is I build the shell, then I basically go inside. So yes, I do a little bit of the outside. So I add the windows and the roof and, the outside stuff like that, but I don't do any landscaping yet. I usually do that at the end because I'm not always sure what kind of feel my house have. You understand my meaning? I also wanted to have the animals. So what I actually added here is that bird thing from Cottage Living. I also added the wild rabbits and I also added chickens and mini goats. I only added 2 mini goats, but I really wanted the mini goats. So that's what I did. I never used them in game before, but they are just so cute. And then when they are in live mode, they just play. And I really like that. So what I also know is that you can kind of do a little bit of a trick with aquariums. So aquarium and then full of fish, really size it down with the tool mod, and then you don't see the aquarium, but you do see the inside. So that is what I tried to do here. It did not really work the way that I wanted to, and I don't exactly know why. Probably because it was inside the pool that I tried it. So basically take them out, have her fill them with fish, and then size them down and then place them in the pool. I did not place them in the middle because I didn't know if it would be hindering her. Although the other thing is I do place it from basement up, so maybe I could have put in more. I don't know. So here basically I'm done with the landscaping. I don't think I add a lot more of landscaping. I do change it up later, as I said, because I need to raise stuff up from the basement. But here I am like, yeah, I really need to go and do the interior. So I knew that I wanted to have the apothecary. Ooh, I said it right. The apothecary table somewhere. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. And I actually thought it was a good idea to just put it in the first level. So basically where you come in, the entryway is going to be, besides the staircase, going to be the apothecary stuff. And I really love the stuff that they put in this pack. Yes, I have some things that I would wish they had changed or had added, but I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect pack. And yes, of course, Gnome Delph has to be included as well. So there he is. And I don't know, I just pick out some bits and pieces from Debug. Oh yeah, the other thing about Debug from this pack. So what I'm using is the Better Build by mod by Twisted Maxi as well. The Debug catalog is included here. But what I noticed, especially with landscaping, is they don't show up if I use the Debug in basically the menu where I can also search for packs, you know. So where I need to find it is in the regular place, where the place on the left side where you can go to your basically build by stuff, you know, where you can pick out your tables. That's that part. There's a menu, a drop down menu that I have, and there I also have a live edit and a debug. I need to use those, and then the debug plans from the Enchanted by Nature pack are there. So if you're like, where is the tree that I used? It's through the debug part, but where, you know, on the left side instead of on the right. I hope you understand what I mean. I hope so. That's the best way that I can explain it. So here in the bedroom, it's a weird shape, right? So I'm basically going back and forth between the bedroom and the living room. So I knew that I wanted the living room on the top floor. And then I also wanted a chimney, I don't know, or a fireplace, I don't know if it's handy, but I wanted one. So I'm trying to make a place for that here. The door was in the way because there's basically a door behind the couch. So what I'm trying to figure out is if my sim can get up there. And here's where I found out that she cannot get up the stairs. So that's what I mean by basically raising everything up with the 9 key from the basement, because that helps. I could maybe have done it with the tool mod as well, but you have to fiddle around with it anyway to get it the way that you want to place it. And then she can get on top. So in the living room, I wanted to change the door that she was walking out of here into a window, because otherwise I could not put the couch against the wall, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I found out that it was off center, and I really like to have everything symmetrical. So I am going to fiddle around with basically the part where the stairs are. And I'm just going to extend that a little bit later so that the fireplace is in the center, because it just drives me bonkers. I know that there are a lot of people who love asymmetric builds, but I'm very bad at that. I kind of like the look of it when it's done, but I have tried asymmetric builds and it's just, I don't know. No, I would rather do symmetrical, but I do try. I try. Because I do think it has its place, if that, you know. So yeah, here I am finding out that the arches that I really wanted to use won't function the way that I want them to. So I do change that up with wisteria. The other thing though, with the wisteria that came in this pack, if you use that on the doors and you want your Sims to be able to walk under it, it needs to be high up enough. It was very much trial and error, this. And I don't think that I've ever been as frustrated and as inspired at the same time with any build that I've done in The Sims as with this one. But I am very proud of this, if I say so myself. Yes. So I'm just placing everything as I am like, that is the way that I want it. In the bedroom, the layout is a little bit weird, but everything does function. And that's it. I don't really know what to say. You know, you see me adding stuff. Did I actually add a burglar alarm? I don't think I did. I did add smoke detectors. I added a thermostat, but I don't think I added a burglar alarm. If you have one, you can add it yourself if you want to. Here with the kitchen. So the thing is, I really like the look of the bottom cabinets in that color. I don't like the upper cabinets because it's a different color. And that really annoys me. So I actually change up, I think I change up the color and make it darker, right? Or do I leave it like this? You know, I don't remember. I'm guessing I leave it. Apparently I left it. Huh. Well, what do you know? Wow, go me. So the kitchen here, it's kind of an interesting... Oh yeah, that was what I also want to say. So maybe you've heard of alt placing. With the Alt key on your keyboard, you can usually place freely. What I have found though is if I want to place clutter, I place it on the ground where I want to have it, and then with the tool mod, I raise it up with 1. And that way it's the perfect height for on top of the cabinet. If you don't have the tool mod, you can still use Alt place, but I just find that this is quicker and for me easier because I don't have to keep, you know, replacing the cabinet back. I can just use the floor for that. And this way, as far as I know, this for me is the perfect way because then they still can use the counter. But I haven't placed tested that actually, the counter. If you download this and you find that they cannot use the counters for whatever reason, you can just make one free. So make sure that one is completely free, but they should be able to use it. This part I'm actually done with the build. The interior is done. And then I was like, if I have a kitchen, I should also have a bathroom. So that is what I'm adding here. So I'm just trying to figure out where can I best place it. And the most logical place was, I don't know, for me at least, on the 2nd floor. And that's what I'm doing there. Yes, what I also wanted to do was a very nice professional walkthrough, film a walkthrough. I tried, but for whatever reason, my camera kept dropping and raising, and that was very weird. And I do have it set in the camera file that it doesn't do that usually, but it did with this build. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know. You see those two arms, I keep calling them arms, that are black right now. I had to position them. So I actually raised them up. So now it's when you go and even play on the lowest level, you still see the arms of the tree. They are just arms, what can I say? But yeah, the build is done here. And what you see now are the stills, the screenshots. I really like how this came out, guys. So let me know how you feel about this. Do you like it? Are you going to download it? Let me know. Leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. The next video I'm going to work on is my sister's house in my Building My Dutch Hometown series. So that is coming too, I hope soon, but I'm way behind with filming. Yeah, and that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening, happy gaming, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!